issues with especially young men today. There's a lot of young men that are single. And this is leading to a lot of problems. You got the Andrew Tate situation going on. You got the manosphere and all this mumbo jumbo. And I wanted to comment a little bit on some of this stuff since this seems to be an important topic that people have rightfully brought up. And I have my own perspective to add in terms of what my challenges have been. And I think it's unfortunately adding my perspective is not going to be something that is going to be a very positive thing, unfortunately. But I think there's a good side to it, and that side is for the young men out there who think that all of your problems with dating stems from your finances. I am here to let you know that you are incorrect. This guy stick this car right out of the way. You're incorrect. Now, I'm not saying finances are not relevant, but I am saying that if you have this perception that if you had much more money than you do, everything would magically be solved, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. Good to see you, Andrew. I can't really read what you're saying because I'm driving, but good to see you as always. So my perspective is, obviously I'm an older guy, so that changes things a bit, but regardless, I am a guy who's done very well for myself. So I mean, right now I got my own challenges right now with the house that I just purchased, multifamily I just purchased, but that's a separate matter. That's an investment that I made. That's a business that I'm running, which is a bit in crisis right now. But if not for the business, if I didn't buy the house right now, I would be, doing really well. Great income, good amount of money in my savings account. Not as much as I should at my age. That's a story for another video that has to do with in my view, the lack of social safety nets in this country, where my timeline has been a roller coaster. I rise up like a phoenix, good job, paying good money, and then things go south, and since there isn't much of a safety net in this country, I drain my funds pretty quickly, and then it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up. And the kind of income that I've been making, like I should have so much money in the bank right now. I should have, my house paid off already. But that's for another video. The point is, I'm the guy that has the money. I ain't no 1%er, right? But definitely within the top 5% easily. So money's not an issue. So you got a lot of women that are out there that, this is the talk that you hear when you're watching like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate or all these like manosphere people. They talk about how basically paint women as like gold diggers and all they care about is money and money is power and blah 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 blah. Not saying that's totally bogus, but I'm the guy with the money, driving the nice car, and able to travel the world. I mean, unfortunately, I work so hard I haven't done much traveling, but I have those ability. I have the ability to do that. I have the ability to provide a very nice lifestyle. Again, put aside the crisis that I'm in right now. Just based on my income and my income in the past, I could provide a lot for a woman. So, you listen to these manosphere guys, and they would say that, people like me, we're the ones that are taking all the women. When you're young, you don't have any money and you can't offer much, and the women, they want you to pay for everything and blah, 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 blah. And then a guy like me comes in and scoops them up. Now, in full disclosure, if I were a bit of an asshole, if I didn't have any integrity, if I was a bit selfish, I could probably be doing, and I was desperate enough, I could probably be doing exactly what the Manosphere people suggest that somebody like me would do. So what I mean is, if I really, if all I cared about is sex, or I just want women or whatever, and I was desperate enough, then sure, I could leverage my, financial status to get women, and the thing is that I could do a lot of things, right? With the money, I can get a Tinder Gold profile, or you know what I mean? Like, I could get a premium for all these profiles. I can play whatever game the women want to play. So if they're like, if the man doesn't pay for the meal, pay for everything, whatever it is, like, I can deliver all that stuff. And if I'm willing to spend the time and swiping and every single woman that's attractive or somewhat attractive that I see, I'm all like trying to talk to them. Yeah, if I was really, if that's all I cared about, sure, money does help, and I could use the money to impress certain women, but the kind of women that I would be getting would not be quality women. Quality women are not going to be, it's not that they don't care about, my financial status, because obviously, yeah, typically, traditionally, a woman wants a provider and all that kind of stuff. So that, me presenting myself that I have the means to be a provider, certainly that helps. But the thing about it is, I just think the perception that a lot of young guys have of like how women deal with money. I mean, yes, okay, let's put aside gold diggers. Yes, gold diggers, yes, absolutely. Gold digger, yes. You have a nice car, or you present yourself like you have a lot of money. Sure, she's excited because she's a gold digger, right? But the problem is, these YouTubers, these content creators, they are creating, as usual, right? Whether it's politics or it's dating, realm of YouTube, they are presenting this false reality. There's just not a ton of gold diggers out there. That's not, I mean, me as a 46-year-old guy, I've been around, I just don't see it, man. Typically, I used to have these ideas of, I used to think that women were, you gotta have a nice car, and that's gonna get their attention, and all this kind of stuff, and I gotta show, look, I got money. That's Hollywood. That is these YouTubers. That is not the real world, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, as a guy who has had nice cars, you know who cares about the car that you're driving? Other men. I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry to tell you guys the reality, the truth, right? Just stop listening to these content creators who are out here just trying to make a buck, selling you all kind of story about this and that. Let me tell you the real deal. The person who cares about your nice car, outside of the gold diggers who are rare, and you don't want a gold digger anyway. Well, okay, if you're just looking for sex and she looks good, then fine, But if you're looking for more than just sex, you don't want the gold digger. So they're the minority. You don't want them anyway, right? And then the overwhelming majority of women, in my view, they don't care. Now, the way that it looks, and I got to qualify that, that's not technically 100% true. The problem is, to attract a good quality woman, you're not going to do very well by just trying to show you got a nice car and you got money, right? You've got to attract them with you, who you are. What type of man are you? What type of partner might you make beyond what kind of money you get, right? You have to attract them with your personality and who you are as a person. And if you can draw them in with that, then yes, as they start to check you out, like now they're like, you got their attention, and now you go on a date, you go on another date. So they are now in the phase of evaluation. Yes, once you get to the evaluation phase, then yes, the money would be relevant, right? A good quality woman, I'm not saying she's going to decide based on your money, but she's certainly going to be paying attention. And if she gets the view that you're struggling, that could actually be something that not necessarily she would say, oh, this guy's broke, I don't want to date him. But I could see that turning her off, right? Whether she realizes it or not. I could see a woman, a good quality woman, she's dating you, right? And she sees that you're struggling, and she gets turned off. But it's not that she's specifically in her mind, like, this guy's broke, I don't want to be the broke guy. Like, somebody talking like that is going to be more the gold digger type. But a good quality woman might not even realize, like, to her, she just feels like you guys are not a match, or she's just not feeling it, right? But she doesn't know where it's coming from. But there's a good chance that your financial situation could be the thing that is turning her off, because a lot of people don't spend a lot of time necessarily doing a lot of self-reflection and trying to understand themselves, right? What makes you do the things that you do? What makes you, like, as a woman, what makes you attracted to the guys that you're attracted to? As a guy, what makes you attracted to the type of woman you're attracted to? What makes you, just what makes you like how does your personality, I don't know, it's just, I don't think people spend that time to really understand themselves, right? So a lot of stuff that we do just based on instinct, just like, oh, a woman's dating a guy and then she just feels like, I don't know, this guy's not my type, and she doesn't even know why. You ask her why, she can't even explain it. She just doesn't feel something, it's not there, and she doesn't understand that. And again, I'm not saying it's just the money thing, but that could be part of it, right? So there's a couple things about you, right? There's this one little thing and another little thing, and then the money thing. And again, she's not necessarily thinking about these things consciously. It could be a subconscious thing where she just has this feeling about you that you just feel like you, and she might have like a sort of a vague, like, if you try to really dig it out of her, like, what was the issue? Why didn't you like him? And she might give something kind of vague, because not really truly understanding herself. Because again, I think a lot of people don't do self-reflection and analysis of themselves, who they are, why do you like what you like, what is it that you don't like, what is it that you're looking for, right? So if you don't have that kind of knowledge, then you're going to find yourself in a relationship with someone and they might turn you off or turn you on, and you don't even fully understand why, because you don't know yourself, right? So yes, I could see your financial situation causing something that got started to fizzle out and not go anywhere. But to me, the biggest problem, and I'm getting into personally for me. So I don't know if projecting is the word that I'm using, but I'm talking from my personal experience, and I'm making assumptions that some of what I'm experiencing, young men would experience as well. It's just worse for them, because at least, if I do get, a woman, get her attention, I do have the finances, but there's an interesting thing about the finances though, because I purposely do not let a woman that I just met have any sense of, exactly where I'm at financially. I mean, I don't think she should have a suspicion that I'm struggling, even though actually I am struggling right now because of the house. But anyway, I don't think she should have an impression that I'm struggling. But a woman that I just met should not have a sense, just based on how I operate, should not have a sense that, I'm doing pretty well. She would just not be sure. She should not feel that I'm struggling, but not get the impression that, like I have a lot of money or something like that. She would just be unsure, and there would be a little bit of a mystery there, and that's intentional, right? Like if I got a nice car, I'm not gonna pick you up on a first date with a nice car, right? I want to pick you up on a first date in a regular car, normal car, because I don't want a distraction, right? I don't want a person, because I guess there's gold diggers, and then there's another type of woman. There's a gold digger, and I wouldn't call this a gold digger, but there's women who are looking for a, I don't know, I don't feel like this is a gold digger though. There's a woman who has decided that she wants to start a family, and she will find a guy who looks good enough and has some good money, like, so he can provide, and she will date this guy and not really be into him that much, right? But she'll date him anyway because he suits the purpose of procreation. So she's gonna date this guy, and she's gonna have kids with this guy. She might even get to the point of like marrying, but it's like, she doesn't really love this guy, right? Maybe she was looking for love and she gave up on it, right? Like, so that is a thing. There are women out there who will, like, it could be the kid thing, like not even necessarily marriage, like just like, I want to have a kid, and you haven't been able to find the right guy, and you're afraid of you're getting old, and so you try and you find a quote-unquote good guy that has good money. And again, it's not the gold digger type. The gold digger type is specifically going after you for the money. They want you to buy them the nice dress and the vacation, and they want this luxury lifestyle. The type of woman I'm describing is not, this is not a gold digger, right? This is just someone who is looking for something that is, what's the word? Transactional. Right? This is someone who literally just wants a child. How can a woman have a child? She needs a man. And if she can't find a man that she loves for a romantic relationship, then she basically needs a sperm donor, right? But if you're going to have a child, there's the risk, the financial risk of like, just some women actually would try to get a child with the intention of being a single mother. Like, surprise, like there's women who would actually, not that they want to be a single mother, but they would have sex with a guy, trying to get a child with this guy, but have no intention of raising the kid with that guy. Now she could, once she has the child, try to find a guy that she actually loves to raise the child with that guy. But there's that thing of the clock. Like, I'm getting old, I want to have a child, so I'm just gonna go and have a child with someone that is not a romantic thing. I'll play the game. I will, do whatever it is to get him to, have this child with me. But then after you have the child, then it's kind of like, okay, I got what I wanted. So now that's when maybe she cheats. You know what I mean? Or things just fizzle out or whatever. So I guess perhaps that is a type of woman that I'm trying to avoid. But I'm just aware that there are women who, especially, me being a quote-unquote good guy, I know that's a liability. Being a good guy is a liability, right? Because I'm the type of guy that a woman like this would take advantage of, right? And it's kind of like, if a woman's gonna have a child with someone and it's not romantic, she wants to have it with a guy who's a good guy. Like, why would she want to have a kid with some guy who's a jerk, right? She probably is going to look for someone that seems healthy, someone that is intelligent, or whatever it is. Like, he's got a good job, whatever qualities that you would want to pass on to your child, right? So these are the types of things, unfortunately, I have to think about, and I can't afford to get caught up in something like that and waste time on someone who is looking for a sperm donor. I'm not trying to be anybody's sperm donor, right? So I got a little sidetracked there, but the money is not going to do you much to get a woman's attention. And in my view, today, I think one of the big challenges is getting a woman's attention in the first place. That is what I think is one of the big problems, because I struggle with that. right? There was a time where things were really good for me. Like I would do all these like dating apps, whether it's Tinder or I used to do like, what's it called? Something Q something. I forgot, whatever it is, but Match.com. I've done all of those things, right? There was a time where I did really well. It was pretty easy for me to get a date. Like I remember a time where, I don't know, I would say 35, 36, 37 years old, and I could date 1 or 2 women every week if I wanted to, right? Because I would readily get matches. It wasn't a ton of matches, but it was enough. So I would have women that swiped on me so I can start a conversation, start a dialogue, right? It was pretty easy for me to get a positive conversation going to where they felt interested and comfortable enough that I could simply say, hey, you want to go grab a drink? Right? That would take a week. We matched on Monday, like we could go have a drink on Friday, Saturday, right? And if it seems like it's something, like a mutual connection, whatever, then, we go on the second date, the third date, and continue, right? But this is what's happened over time. That is a typical experience I have when I start with a new dating app. I get on the app, I have a decent experience, I'm able to get matches, I'm able to get on dates. And once I get dates, like if I can get on dates, like I do well. Like I'm not worried about dates in terms of like, getting on a date and having things go somewhere. If I can go on dates and go on a decent amount of them, I can fairly easily find a good partner. I'm not worried about that. I have the confidence and whatever it is that's needed to make that happen. The big struggle is getting the date in the first place. So what's happened is I will get on these apps and you start off really good. Maybe they promote you in the beginning or whatever it is. You start off really good, you can get dates, you're meeting people, things are great, you're like, oh, and then after a few months or something, all of a sudden you're not having dates anymore, you're not getting matches anymore. I remember I get to a point where you get 1 match per month. Like it's very complicated finding someone that's a good match for you. We're all complicated, we all have different personalities. Finding someone that you have the physical attraction and the core, things that are important to you are there, communication, sense of humor, whatever it is, right? And then, everything else that comes with your personality is not an issue. The overall thing is not an issue for her, and vice versa. Like that's not easy. So there is some level of numbers. It's always going to be some level of numbers game in terms of you have to meet enough people to find that right match to pursue, right? But to me, you get on the apps, you have a good experience, and then that quickly dies down. And then there's some other new app that comes out, and you join that app, and then, I'd have a good experience, and I can meet people, blah, blah, blah. But then it dries up. It's like you're chasing from app to app to app to app. And then this is my current situation right now, right? Again, my financial situation is completely irrelevant when it comes to dating, right? My dating challenge comes from the inability to even meet women in the first place, because I am not desperate. I am not some person who is bored and I got nothing going on. I got a lot going on. I got a lot on my plate. I have limited time, right? So the idea that I'm gonna sit and every day swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping for 29 days to get 1 match who is definitely not gonna be a good match, right? Because what are the odds that the one person you match with is gonna be a good match for you, right? Like it's just such a time waste. Like it is just I don't know. It's I'm probably gonna get some negative feedback on this, but I just don't have the energy. it's just too much. Like matching with one person per month or worse is just absolutely ridiculous. Because if that's the match rate you have, then the only way you're gonna find someone is you gotta really be desperate to where, like I said, every day you're swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping. And also, whenever you respond to someone, like you can't just be like, hey, beautiful, or something like that, because the odds are so stacked against you that you're gonna need to spend time to like read every profile and come up with something custom to the person, like, yo, I see you were in Hawaii. What did you do? Or whatever, right? And it's just to spend all that time, and the odds are that you're not even gonna get a match, like one match per month. Like life is so short. It just kills me to dedicate that amount of time. And the thing about it is like, and some women would hear this and I think maybe get the wrong impression. Like, if I'm dating someone, I have no problem dedicating the time to someone. Like, I found someone, let's get to know each other. Like, even with all my crazy job and the house thing, I will make the time. It is important enough for me to build something that I will find the time. And I'm not just saying that, I've always made the time for whatever woman it is that I'm dating, right? But the problem that I struggle with is the time to even get the match where there's a possibility of anything. It's just I don't know, man. I struggle, and it's finding someone is something that is very important to me. It's been a goal for me for some time. Like that is something like I would have wanted to start a family and all that kind of stuff. That is something that's very important to me. And has a very, very, very high value to me. But even with that being said, I just can't. I'm just not a desperate guy. I just can't be there just like swipe, 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 and then like everywhere I go, I see boobs, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's your name? Like, I'm sorry, man. I really need. I shouldn't say need, but whatever, I'm gonna say need. That's not the right word, but I'm gonna say need. I really, let's say want. I strongly want something organic. You know, where it's just, you know, I spend a reasonable amount of time on these apps swiping, and I can get a reasonable amount of matches to where I can go on a few dates and see where things go. But not a crazy amount of time. Again, I don't mind spending time once I have someone that I'm pursuing, right? But crazy amount of time to get a match that odds are it's not a good match. It's just such a time waste, and I struggle with that. So what do I end up doing? I end up not looking, right? And that's how I end up 46 years old and single. Because every once in a while I try to date and I deal with this nonsense, and I just get tired and fatigued, and then I just stop dating. And it's very easy for me to do that because, again, I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests. I got so much stuff that I'm always getting into, but I do value, you know, relationships, right? Cars and bikes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's great. I love it and all, but it's just, I value relationships, but the problem is, again, I struggle with getting the matches. And I think young guys, you're probably going to be dealing with the same thing. Why would you not? I think the advantage that you have is your age, because the amount of eligible women for someone at my age is going to be tricky, right? Because if I'm 46, looking at dating a 39-year-old, a 40-year-old, they are running out of time in terms of having a kid, right? So a lot of those women already are in relationships, they already have kids, they're already married. I don't think there's a ton of women that are in that particular, like, I'm in a very I don't think I'm in a very ideal age for dating. But so a younger person would have a better experience than me, because there's a lot more eligible women out there that are searching. But the problem you're going to run into is you're going to run into the same issue of getting the matches, because with these apps, the women are all pursuing the top of the top. Like they can get the best of the best, right? All these men are chasing them, right? So they're gonna match with the most attractive guys. So the top of the top of the top. Now I'm happy with my looks, but I'm not no top of the top of the top. Like I'm happy with the feedback in terms of what women have said about how I look. That's all fine and dandy. But in this digital age with these apps, what I got going, irrelevant. I'm sorry to say it. So if you're overweight or whatever you got going on, I'm sorry to say it, but the current dating situation is not going to be very nice to you, because someone like me who, I'm happy with how I look and everything, and women I meet, they seem to like what they see as well, but doesn't matter. Does not matter. There are guys that look way better than me that are available to all women, right? That unfortunately, that's the way it's stacked. Like, all these women are getting all these men that are chasing them. I'm gonna get into more details about the other issues as well, but the short story is, as a guy, it's hard to get noticed, because if a woman is any way attractive, she's got a ton of guys that are pursuing her. So it doesn't matter necessarily, you're a good guy, whatever, irrelevant. The odds of her spotting you, right? She's got all these choices and she's got these distractions. And for her to just so happen to look at your thing and give you a chance, I'm sorry, man. It's not good. And I'm going to talk more about this in the future, but I think that dating today is unfortunately very, very problematic. But I think if you can take a positive from this, don't let your finances, still strive, try to get your finances up, definitely, be successful as much as you can, but just realize that that's not going to solve the problem. So don't think, because I'm broke, that's why I can't find anyone, right? Money is not doing anything for me. If I didn't have this house situation, in theory, I could do this thing where they do that matchmaking thing. Like, that's something that, in theory, I could do that. But I don't know. I've thought about it, but I don't know if that seems kind of scammy. I don't know. But putting that aside, as far as just a normal dating situation, having money is not really doing anything for me, man. Right? And again, I admitted, said, I'm not bragging, and I don't throw it out there. In fact, I actively tone it down. But the thing is, I don't have to worry about, like, she wants to be taken to a nice restaurant and I don't have money for that. Or even just I don't have money to go out. Like, I don't have to worry about that, right? I can take them to any restaurant I want to, right? Whatever it is that requires money, it's not an issue. I don't have to think about that. Again, set aside my current situation with this house business, but just in terms of my income, like, I don't have to worry about that stuff. But it's not going to do much for me in terms of meeting women in the first place. Now, one thing that I will say that I have to consider that's different is, and I may need to rethink and rewire my brain. When I was younger, living in big cities like New York, younger women were very sort of antisocial. Like, if you're not in their circles, if you don't go to college with them, you don't work with them, like, they're not seeing you on a regular basis, there was this attitude that you're a rapist. Like, I remember that was a huge issue, because I used to be very, I did have a level of shyness to myself, but I'm a person who's very determined, right? So I was able to overcome that and have the confidence to go out, and I would approach women. I'd approach them on the train and whatever. And what I found from that is that American women in places like New York, back in those days, very, very resistant to, talking to some strange guy on the train or whatever, because there's a lot of paranoia. Like, this guy's a pervert or whatever. So for meeting women organically, the thing is college, right? If you're going to college, I'm not saying go to college to meet a woman, but that'll be the environment where women are seeing you on a regular basis, so they have a certain level of comfort with you, and then you can go and approach them, and they're not going to be all afraid. But for me, trying to approach a strange woman who doesn't know anything about me, like when I was younger, that was problematic. But one thing I have to realize, I'm 46 years old now, right? Those women that I'm talking about are in their 20s, right? So I don't know what women, you know, a 35-year-old, a 40-year-old woman, I don't know what they're like in terms of a guy approaching them. Obviously, you got to be respectful and all that kind of stuff. You're not gonna be like, hey, baby, or whatever. But I don't know what they're like. I haven't really done that to women of that age. The last time that I went around approaching random women, you know, I was in my 20s. So maybe older women are not so paranoid, so I could explore the organic thing, because what I've been doing, I've been strictly digital for a long time. Not just say strictly, not that I wouldn't, but in general, I'm always so busy. Like, if you could be really attractive and you're riding the same bus with me every day, and I might not notice you because I'm busy learning something, or I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I'm always busy doing stuff, right? In my mind, I'm always like thinking about stuff. So I would easily miss many opportunities. But I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I will see. I'll try to be more social in that from that perspective, because the dating apps, I just can't. I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I the swiping all day. I'm just not like, I gotta find a woman. I need a woman. I'm not there, man. I mean, if I find a good woman, yes, I have a big heart. I could be very, very, you know, like my last girlfriend, like, you know, I mean, I loved this woman, right? And, you know, I would do anything for her. You know, I was very happy with her, but I'm sorry, man. Like, as a single guy, I'm good, man. Like, I don't have that level of desperation. I'm sorry. I need I need to be able to casually meet women. Like, that is something that I need. It has to be casual. I cannot just be, like, for example, you go to a party and you just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you, like, no, man, I'm sorry. And don't get me wrong, it's not, because then you start talking about sex and all that kind of stuff. Trust me, the drive is there for sure, but I'm just not desperate, man. I'm not desperate, and I'm not 15 years old to where my hormones are out of control. Like, I'm in control of myself to where I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not there. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't get to really engage with you guys with the comments, but obviously I'm driving. It's nighttime, so I'm not trying to crash here. I see Ray Epps is in the house. Good to see you. I know Andrew was here. I don't know if he's still here or not. Look at just you guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. Oh man, I'm trying to zoom in the comments and it zoomed in. No, stop, YouTube. What are you trying to do, man? I gotta rotate this thing because I don't know if it's fully zoomed out or not. What are you trying to do to me, man? I remember a time where I could zoom in the comments, but I haven't been able to do that in a while. I don't know why it doesn't work. I'm clicking on the comments and I'm pinching, but it's not doing anything. You gotta pinch the other way? Nope. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's already zoomed in? No, it's not. It's not allowing me to zoom. Yeah, I can't. It's too. Oh man. Oh, come on, YouTube. Oh. All right, guys. I gotta see it on the replay. I'm too far from home right now. I just came. I came from my sister. My sister had her 50th birthday party, which is scary because I'm not too far from her in age. That was just like surreal. I'm just like, my sister's 50. Like, holy smokes. So because I'm June, she's January. So sometimes her age is 4 years apart from me, and sometimes it is 3 years apart from me. So I guess it's 4 years now. Yeah, because she just went up. And then my birthday's coming up in a few months, and we're gonna be back to 3 years apart. But yeah, that was crazy. So I'm headed back to the house. Unfortunately, I don't have a tenant yet, so I'm losing money. I'm staying in the unit that I'm trying to rent right now, which is costing me $2,000 a month. The basement is not ready yet. It's the painting is almost done. I ran into a problem with the windows. I have like $1,000 of windows that I got with the house. The previous owner bought, but they don't fit. I don't know why he bought those windows. Maybe it's for other floors or something. But the windows that are in the basement are all too tall. I was ready to do the window replacement this weekend. I had the tools. I got the tools and everything, and I was ready to go. And then I did the measurements, and I'm like, this is too tall. So now I got to go order windows. But that's a big thing because the windows have to be replaced. You can push them in. So as far as safety, I cannot live down there with windows that just push in like that. So I got to get the windows replaced. Then I have to work on my security system because this is dangerous. I'm in the back. I'm at the ground level. Like, that's the easiest part of the house to get into. I'm not going to be comfortable without a good security. So I need like motion sensor lights, some kind of alarm thing. I got to think it through. I got to come up with a strategy because safety is definitely going to be a concern, especially with ongoing evictions. So, you know, who knows, you know, one of these fools try to set me up or something. So yeah, but I'm getting there. I'm really close to having it be livable. Once it's livable, then I can go down there and I can rent out the other one. But what I'm doing right now is I put the apartment on the market right now. So if I find someone and they're ready to go, I'm gonna let it go. Once I let it go, I'm like, okay, let's go. Okay, you want to move in next week? Great. And then I'm just gonna have to hustle, because if I have someone that's gonna be in there, then that's gonna take me out of like this crisis mode. So at that point, like, whatever I need to do to get this place ready, like, I'll spend the money. Like right now, no one's in there, so it's a risk for me to spend too much money. But if I have someone with a signed lease, then whatever, get the windows, get the alarm system, get whatever it takes, get it done, so I can get out of where I am at right now and let the new tenant get in the new place, and then we can finally get this business out of the crap zone or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna have to read you guys' comments in the replay as usual and try to reply to you. Thanks for the comments and for your support. Thanks for clicking on the like button. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Good to see you, Mr. Ray Epps. I don't know why you changing your Uncle Reggie, man. You are Uncle Reggie. Why are you changing your name, man? Anyway, all right, guys. This is the Baby Channel. Don't leave in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. I'm gonna try to do some more videos like this. And it's not as because I can get clicks or whatever. If I wanted to get clicks out of already done a ton of videos on Steven Crowder's situation. Trust me, I want to talk about that, but it's just, yeah, it's just, I got too much on my plate, and there's other stuff, you know, gimmicky things, you know. Oh, Lauren Boebert had a fight in the bathroom. Like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? I would rather talk about this dating thing, because this is something that's very important. I mean, a lot of young men are going through depression, are going through issues of you know, self-confidence and despair. And you know, if I can do anything to help, I don't know how helpful this video was. Letting you know, like, okay, if you had money, you still would be lonely. But if I can help in any way, I would like to do so. I mean, that's the whole point of this channel, is to help. I know people say that, right? But then if you look at what they do and how they run their channels, you can see it's clearly about clicks, right? Because they're just following trends or whatever. I let so many trends go by, so many hot topics go by. Like, I am not, just like with the women, I'm not desperate to find a woman. I'm not desperate to get some views, man. I see stuff that happens and I know I have an interesting take on it, and I know that you know, this is something I could get some good views on it, and I choose not to do the video. Not because I'm saying I'm not gonna do it, but just like it's not that important that I go do a video just because it's gonna get views, right? But then I'll go and spend, you know, an hour live stream, hour and a half live stream, when I don't have the time and I'm busy, on something that I know is not gonna get a lot of views. Like that's to let you know where my head is at, right? A viral thing, and I'm like, I'm busy. Something I know I'm not gonna get views on, and I'm super busy, and I spend an hour and a half talking about something. Why? Because it's something I feel that is important, and it's something important that I want to share with you guys. I feel that the information or perspective that I'm adding, I feel has a strong value, and I therefore take that sacrifice of spending an hour of my time that I don't have on something that I know is not going to get views, right? But you're not going to see, you know, a YouTuber doing that, because if you're doing this as a business, you can't do that. You're going to be out of business real soon, right? So when I say that I'm doing this to help people, like, that is legit. Like, whether I'm helping people or not, we'll, you know, whatever, but that is my intention, right? That is what drives me, right? So like this thing with the dating, especially because I have my own struggles as well, so I can share my perspective in terms of what I'm dealing with, and just being older, you know, perhaps I can add some perspective for the younger guys. So comment and let me know what you think about this, whether you think this is a good idea for me to do more videos like this and go into these topics. Really appreciate it. Until next time, this is the Baby Channel, and I'm out. Trying to make it home alive. All right. And 3. Later, Andrew and Ray. You guys have a good Saturday. Until next time.